Fatherhood isn't easy, but in Autism Land, it's a journey like no other. Join Mark de Grasse as we explore the highs, lows, and everything in between of raising children on the autism spectrum. With real stories, practical advice, and a touch of humor, we're here to navigate this unique journey together. For dads navigating life on the autism spectrum, you're not alone.
Hey everyone, welcome to Dads in Autismland, where we talk everything autism and fatherhood and special needs families in general. Today I have a very special guest, Allan Young, and we're going to be talking about Autism Acres as well as his growing special needs family, and also how he, came into this situation where you were able to provide for a bunch of other families a very neat sounding place to go to. I think next time I'm in Washington, I'm definitely gonna have to stop by. So welcome, Allan.
Thank you, Mark.
So, just before this, we kind of talked about, kind of your family situation, but also the location you're at right now. So why don't we just start there? Because I see that big barn in the background.
Yeah, yeah, we're in Rochester, Washington, and this is my last spot I got stationed, so we decided to plant roots here. So yeah, it's been a pretty awesome spot if you like hiking and the outdoors, and it's beautiful.
No, we love Washington. We head up there a couple times a year. That was actually before we moved to Texas. That was the place we were thinking because I like rain in general, and
Yeah,
it's cooler up there. It's not like
it
that here in
is.
Texas. So tell me about Autism Acres. I know it's you got 5 acres and you kind of set it up specifically for autistic people, which is really cool.
Yeah, so it's yeah, we call it Autism Acres because of a tribute kind of to our three boys with autism. But it's designed and set up to house any like cerebral palsy, um, wheelchair accessibility. We have a wheelchair accessible playground that we built that's inside the barn actually because it's Washington and it rains all the time. We got sensory swings up in we call it the field of swings. So it's just a bunch of different swings, a zip line, tree house for the kids to go up in there and play. That was donated by Nelson Treehouse, which is super awesome. And then in the barn, the kids get to interact with animals. We have miniature goats and two mini horses, and we plan to add more, but right now they seem to just enjoy those. And it's a really good time. It's a place where the kids start to feel safe because everything's fenced. We've designed it for elopers, so all the accessible points have either a code or a way that a latch that you have to reach around to grab.
Hmm.
To try to keep the running off to a limit or keep it limited. Um, and then it's really cool to see, like, as you probably know, going to a park is pretty pretty hectic at times.
Oh yeah,
And
harrowing.
yeah, right. And so it's fun to see the parents start to calm down, and all the seating is in the middle, so you can see everything. So they'll sit down and start talking to each other as well. So that's really cool to try to just cultivate the community aspect of meeting people in a safe environment and then watching their kids start to connect with the other kids. So it's really cool to see them like, hey, you're kind of like me. The parallel play starts off and then they start to interact with each other. It's just super cool.
Ah, that sounds amazing. Well, and I love how you touched on the security measures because I think a lot of people don't realize the difference between, how you have to watch autistic kids versus regular kids, I compare it most of the time. I'm like, you remember when your kid was 2 and they, you had to watch them every second, they were getting into everything
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's like that, except it doesn't end. It just kind of
Yeah.
continues. Yeah, they develop, but a lot of times
Yeah.
it's those same concerns where like, okay, but we want to make sure there's nothing dangerous around. Want to make sure they can't get out. My son, we had a few issues of him, leaving. He used to be
Mhm.
much worse, but well, the other thing that autistic parents do a lot of times is you start deciding your house based on those things. Like, okay, how many egress points are there? How many? Where could we, put everything and for the backyard, especially at the central seating area, that's genius because that's huge. You have to keep eyes. So what made you decide to start something like this?
So we were looking at I wanted to do kind of like overseas missions. And that's going to be hard with three boys on the spectrum, obviously. So I went on like a solo backpacking trip and was just kind of praying about it. And we had kind of knocked around the idea, me and my wife. And we're like, all right, Lord, like this is what you're gonna, this is the direction you want us to go. So then this is how we started this. And we are, we're more of we try to be the hands and feet of Jesus. We're not a Christian organization. We're an organization that's run by Christians. So we're not here to project anything. We're just here to serve and have conversations and just serve the people that are a lot of times locked up in their house because it's scary to go places or they're overwhelmed. And we want to be a safe environment for those families.
Oh, I love that. And that's another issue that a lot of people don't realize is, the reason why you don't always see autistic people is because they're stuck at home,
Yeah.
and the worst part is a lot of times it's maybe the school that told them this, like, oh, they'd be better off at home, so you should just homeschool. And then they
Mhm.
don't know how to get services, or they don't know the therapy options. And really there is that fear that you go out and you just get discriminated against because, your kid's yelling or
Mhm.
picking things up, or and there's much more more dangerous issues that come up. But that's amazing that you kind of have recognized that and now are doing something to combat it, because these people need help, and it's tough to find. So that's
Yeah.
incredible. So did
I mean,
you okay.
we needed help too. Like it's not just for these families, it's for us too. Like my son now has friends. It's it's awesome. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, tell me about your kids. I know you said you have three on the spectrum, which is a lot.
Yeah, so we have a 16-year-old who is severe and he's considered functionally nonverbal. So he scripts, so he
Okay.
can talk. And we're trying to get him to we call him Bumblebee. So he's kind of figured out that he can quote a movie that pertains to something that he kind of needs. So we're starting to get more words out of him through that, or through or more conversation, I should say. He's got all the verbiage because he's just yeah, it's constant movie quotes. And then my middle son, um, he has ADHD and autism. He's more of the level one or high functioning or however you want to phrase it. But yeah, he's been kind of our I guess our glue for this whole operation. There's zero prejudice. He comes up to anybody, let's play, as long as they're willing. But he's created an environment where people literally come to see him, and it's so cool to watch them run around and connect. And then our youngest, he's level 2.5. I don't, however you want to do it, but lots of running around in circles. He uses his hands to talk. Um, Limited conversation type, but super incredibly smart as far as languages go. He knows, I don't know, 10 to 15 languages as far as like the alphabets, and he can write all of them. And it's crazy. It's
Oh,
literally cool. And then, yeah, our last addition is, we call her Little Miss. She's our foster daughter right now. And she had Down syndrome, and she has mixed in really well. Our youngest is teaching her sight words, and he just holds up the flashcards to her and helps her say it. It's really cool.
that's incredible.
Yeah,
That's a really unique situation you have going, especially with the kind of variance on the spectrum. A lot of
yeah,
times it's you'll see one and not the other. And with the language stuff, because I
yeah.
think, my son is, completely nonverbal. He has like 20 signs that he could do. They're
Mm.
mainly demands, so it's not, communication like that.
Yeah.
But he does do the clips on the movies. Like he'll pull
Yeah.
up and it's just specific scenes. Sometimes it seems like he's trying to communicate, like he'll be in trouble or something, and then it'll
Mm.
be that scene in Despicable Me where the orphans are getting yelled at. Like
Oh,
if like
yeah,
mom's mad at him, sometimes I'll play that one.
yeah. Okay.
But most of the time
Yeah.
it's just kind of like random monster scenes. But he'll look up the same scene in multiple languages and he'll be able to
Oh, cool.
find it. Yeah, he could just correlate because he can't write, but he knows how to find like specific videos on YouTube that will lead to the video that he wants, and he's pretty incredible at that. I'm still
That's
trying to get
cool.
like the communication side, but it sounds like you guys have done a ton of progress. Are you doing, in addition to the autism farm, are you doing, or autism acres, are you doing ABA therapy or speech therapy, OT, that kind of thing?
Yeah, we did do that for years. And then they kind of got to the point where they were not getting as much out of it.
Mm.
And our oldest needed like in-home only. And we had some issues with our school, and so we do homeschool. So we went to a lot of their trainings that the ABA therapy offered, and we just kind of practiced that here, helping him. And now me being retired from the military, I kind of take that role and help him do his laundry, how to cook, how to clean, do his homeschool, which it's not anything advanced, obviously, but we're definitely doing more of the life skills with our oldest, and then just helping him be, hopefully somewhat on his own. I don't think he will. He'll probably be on the property, but hopefully not in the house, maybe at one point. But so he has a little bit more of independence, but we'll see.
Oh, good for you. I mean, just having that goal. Originally, we had operated like that too. My son's 12 now. He's almost 13.
Okay.
But we kind of were like, because we actually bought a property where it was like it had an apartment on it. So I was like, oh,
Hmm.
then he can move in there eventually. But then we're like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be right next to us forever.
Yep.
But no, it's really neat that you're kind of planning that out and that you've tried, just taking it on. So is it just you and your wife? Basically doing everything.
Yeah, for right now. We do have a board that comes out and helps and volunteers, and we're trying to get some volunteers, but we know that this group is very vulnerable. So, just a background check is not going to weed out everybody
Yeah.
for volunteer wise. So, me and my wife went through some training on how to ask questions and their responses. And so you have an hour-long interview process that we'll have for volunteers to make sure that we are filtering out the best we can because this population is very vulnerable.
Extremely. No, we've had issues in the past when my son was in public school and we had a major issue there and it was part of that where it's just like, oh yeah, it's an aid. The aid is
Yeah,
good. And you're just like, okay, what's the training? Oh, a
yeah,
weekend course or nothing?
yeah,
You're like, okay, it's gonna take more effort
yeah.
than that. But no, that's incredible that you guys are taking on. We did have au pairs for a bit, so that was kind of
Oh,
our
okay.
help. And well, just to the screening side, because we had
Yeah.
some that were not dangerous, but may have not been super honest about their ability to speak English. And then for
Ah,
that, it's like,
gotcha. Yeah,
oh, okay. Who's they have the chat GPT up while they're doing the Zoom call. It's
yeah.
just recording everything. But no, that's amazing that you guys kind of and you identified that because that is I mean the vulnerability when they can't talk is
Yeah.
unlimited really because
Yep.
they're not gonna know what's going on. So
Yep.
it's super dangerous.
Hey, Dad. Yeah, you. The one who stayed up researching sensory toys at 2 a.m. The one learning about IEPs while watching game highlights. We see you. The Pathfinder Collective is where dads like us connect beyond the podcast. No judgment, just real talk about raising kids on the spectrum. $50 gets you lifetime access to our Facebook group, bi-monthly workshops with experts who actually get it, and yeah, a free shirt to replace that one with all the inexplicable stains. Because sometimes you need more than advice. You need another dad who nods and says, same here, man. Go to dadsinautismland.com/pathfinder.
So just in terms of because this is incredible that you're taking on all of this and are kind of put your plans aside to travel and do that kind of missionary work. And what kind of gave you the inspiration for it then to open it up to everybody?
Yeah, so it was just a lot of again, just a lot of prayer. And then I guess the big thing too is how do we reach people if we're not either going to them or allowing a place that they're not inundated by. Um, some people are just scared to go to a church, right? And or be around Christians, and this is way that we're not again, we're not projecting it. We're not having a service out here. We're just loving them and loving them where they're at. And we want to see, or we want them to see Christ through us, not tell them about it. We want to show them. And that's why we opened it up for everybody. We don't care, where you're at, what you're dealing with. We're gonna be here. We're gonna listen to you, and we're gonna help walk you through this because we're no experts, and we're walking and fumbling through this just like you are. And we would also like some help and support as well. And it's kind of cool to the friends I've made out here. Um, Tyler, the guy that recommended this, has been a great asset and help out here. He helps me build stuff because he does carpentry. So it's just the community that we get to build out here, meeting all walks of life and not just staying inside the church, but just being outside and
Mm.
getting to meet people where they're at and what they're walking with. It's pretty incredible.
That is incredible. Well, and like you said, I like how you didn't say it's a exclusively a Christian
Yeah,
organization, because a lot of times they'll turn people off,
yeah,
and it's, and then you only end up with Christians where if you're
yeah,
really living the word, you're supposed to be spreading it to the non-Christians, which
yeah,
is yeah, it could be a touchy approach, because as soon as people
yeah,
hear that, because there's people have a lot of associations, and it's like, oh, you're
yep,
Christian, that means you're going to judge me, and
yep,
they go down that path.
yep.
But I
No
love,
judgment.
yeah, it's and that's really what all I think autistic people and parents want, is just the to be seen and accepted, and listened to. But it can be tough,
Yeah,
if you don't know anything about it. And that's kind of why, even with this podcast, it's like, we understand each other, and you don't
yeah,
have to explain it. And I get it. I know
yeah,
a lot about your situation. Not exactly, of course, because three's a lot. Actually, let's talk about that. Because having three or four that you're caring for, in addition to running an organization, how do you keep yourself energetic and motivated through all the hardships?
so yeah, first and foremost, obviously, I dig into the word and prayer. That's we go to the source for our rest, and then it's a lot of working out.
Mm.
I've done a few workouts with the boys too. Obviously, we're not working on form. We're just working on movements.
Yes.
But yeah, so we work out, help with our stress level and stuff like that. And me and my wife is amazing. I mean, she did it for years by herself while I was on deployments or overseas. And so we're a team and we balance each other. We make sure each other gets breaks and gets to leave the house. Um, she has her girls' trips that she gets to go on to do that. I have my guys' trips. I go snowboarding a lot. Um, just to get away from the house, because when you're stuck in the house for so, and you caught me at a really good point in my life too, as I transition now to be more of the stay-at-home parent. And man, it's a different world. Being in the house is rough for this long. And I'm like, why isn't the laundry done? I'm like, oh yeah, that's my
That's
job
you.
now. Yeah, that's me now. And so it's been a really cool aspect to switch roles and be to see the other side, because now she's in the workforce and she's getting her master's, um, to where she comes home now and sees like, oh, this is what you're talking about. You're coming from chaos at work into chaos at home and having to adjust. So it's
Mm.
really cool to see that, or get to see the other side and the other person's point of view, walking this life, because it is, caretaking is hard. Being alone in the house is hard. Coming home from work is hard. It's yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah, well, it's so funny you say that, because we were kind of going through the same thing where my wife got a job that she actually has to go into, and so I'm doing all the boys pickups, and I have two, and one's neurotypical, so he has the other side of like the taxi service where you got to go to
Mhm.
like the workout and the practice, and it's just constant. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get home and I'm just like, I'm exhausted. Like that was so much work just to drive around a ton.
Yeah.
And then she sees it from my side too, because I was, for the longest time I was working, like 90
Yeah.
hours a week. And then, you're like, I really want to help, but I'm exhausted and I can't think
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
So no, it's good to see both sides, and it's awesome that you guys realize that you do need those breaks and the
Yeah.
trips and the no guilt there, where it's like, yeah, I get it. You need to go. This last
Yep.
week we had kind of like a medical issue, and I was home, and it was just like, and my son treats me differently than my wife too, where it's kind of like, hey, Dad, I can make a mess with you, and he won't do it to my wife, but he'll do it to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't. I can't keep cleaning the sheets and the blankets and all these things all the time. So no, I know exactly. Well, not exactly. I mean, three is pretty intense. So you probably do you have a lot of structure, like in terms of like, all right, it's morning time. We're gonna go over here, and then we're gonna go over here. What's a normal day look like?
Yeah, so we have a little bit of structure. We do understand that, structure helps kids on the spectrum. But we also understand that when it's too structured, sometimes they want that and only that.
Mm,
So we've kind of balanced out of so we wake up in the morning, eat breakfast, take a shower, get dressed. We'll start homework, and then, eat 11:45. We do our workout. Then we eat lunch, and then it's, clean up around the house, do chores after that. But it's not, they don't have to do it in a specific order at a specific time, which is nice. And so like, yeah, my middle son who struggled the most in school and was kind of bullied because
mm,
he doesn't understand the boundaries of social cues and stuff like that. So he actually gets to take his time with his homework, and
mm,
I'll clean up for a little bit, or I'll go play outside with the dogs for a minute, or I'll do my homework outside. He has that freedom, and we're seeing that helps him a lot without the structured sit down, be quiet, because he was in a normal classroom, unlike my oldest son, who, yeah, he was in the DLC class, and that's just more of the give him a piece of paper because he was a quiet kid and did his
mm.
work, and so we got to push him a little bit more being at home as well.
Oh, that's
So
awesome. Well, and yeah, the flexibility there, and I think
yeah,
that makes a huge difference. And plus, you got everything on campus. Because for
yeah,
us, it was
right.
always like, okay, I got to find a park. We got to go do something so he can get some energy out. Now he just jumps on trampoline 24/7. So that's like his
Yep.
workout. I'm trying to keep up. I actually started a whole new regimen myself because I'm like, he's gonna be way bigger than me because
Yeah.
my dad is like 6'5", like
Oh,
300
man.
pound rugby player. And that's where my son is headed. And I'm not small. I'm like 6'2" and like 200 pounds, but I'm like, he's already 190 and he's
Dang.
not even 13 yet. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's so strong. And actually, speaking of the workouts, he started doing like, he's been in PT for a long time. But over the last 6 months, they've started adding a lot of things. And he's actually doing it like leg presses and
Ooh.
farmer walks and sled pushing. And now he's pushing like both two therapists will stand on the sled and he's just pushing the sled across the thing. I'm like, oh
Jeez.
my gosh.
Well, hey, I got some farm work out here if you
Hey, there you go.
want.
Carry these sandbags over there.
Yeah.
But no, that's amazing. So what kind of workout, what does a workout look like for you guys?
It's one of those like more of those in-home workouts. They're not really great with the form and stuff, so I don't want to add weights yet.
Mm,
So we're doing more of the body weight workouts or light weights, like overhead arm
mm,
claps, or a lot of military workouts I've done with them as well. So push-ups, burpees, air squats, stuff that I can kind of work on with form, but not to where they can throw their back out, obviously.
mm.
Um, so yeah, it's. I should actually videotape. I don't know if you've ever seen the old Afghan workout video where they're doing
Oh,
like
they're doing
jumping
the
jacks.
jumping jacks.
Yeah, so
I
that's
have seen
kind of
that.
typical what it kind of looks like at our house. So I try to keep it, let's just move our bodies. Let's
Yes.
get something. Yeah.
That's like 90%. I tell anybody that who hasn't worked. I was in the fitness industry for like 10 years and worked
Oh,
with
okay.
functional training, a lot of soldiers and firefighters and,
Nice.
special forces, that kind of thing. MMA fighters, a lot of that. But yeah, no, it's the same where I'm like, you know what? If you do nothing, then literally you just jumping around for a little bit will be really helpful. And
Yeah.
you don't need to complicate it with Olympic lifting and, you know, crap like that. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
just pick up. I do sandbags a lot too, where I'm just like, you can't
Perfect.
hurt yourself. I was the strength and conditioning coach for my son's football team, and I was like, oh, sandbags, you can't screw up form with that because it won't move. So no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. And it's good. It's good just to get them energetic and even mentally, like the amount of benefit that your brain gets from exercise is better than any pill most of
Yeah.
the time.
Yep.
So well done for that. That's incredible. Well, it sounds like you got a ton of fun stuff going on up there. I'm definitely gonna, I'll give you a call next time we're up because I would love to
Yeah.
swing by and see. My son's not into animals. My neurotypical son is though, so he'll be happy with the miniature goats and horses. He'll probably have a blast. He's actually my other son goes to a horse camp like once a year
Oh, cool.
in California, so he's always trying to up his I forget the names of the titles. It's called Rawhide Camp, and they
Hmm.
do a bunch of stuff. But no, that's incredible. I'm going to ask you one question. I try to do a fun autism dad question. So
Okay.
you have lots of kids. We'll see if this works for you. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. What's your best therapy speak phrase to sound smart in front of professionals?
Oh, jeez. Uh, oof, that's a good one. I don't know if I have a good phrase that
Go
I like
to.
to use. I'm just, I'm, I don't know, country boy, I guess. That is just like, hey, so what's that do? I mean,
That's an approach. I
yeah,
don't know.
explain it to me. Yeah, they, uh, they use a lot of big words, and yeah, use the big words, but how does that actually, so what does that look like, physically, right?
Oh, okay.
Say that kind of stuff. I'm like, so what does that look like for me, and how do I get them to do or act like that? Like, where's the rubber meet the road? I need to know you're talking up here. I need you down here. Like,
I
how
need
do I
action.
practically apply this? Yeah.
You know what? That's a great answer. Because a lot of times it's like you're too embarrassed to say like I don't know anything about what you just said. Like I
Yeah.
understand it helps, but like you said, like what's the practical application of that so I could just do it at home.
Yeah.
Even with therapists that I've gone to the past, I'm like, okay, that was all fun. What do I do? That's
Yeah.
that's what I need. Just give me action items. So
Yeah.
good answer.
Thanks.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on the show, Alan. That was fantastic, and I'm super interested. Thank you so much for doing Autism Acres because it's super necessary. And a lot of times I like how enclosed it is because a lot of times when they do those autism parks, and there's a few here in Austin, it's there's too many people around and there's no fences.
And we limit it to 15 kids.
Mm,
Not, I mean, as many adults can come to help support, but it's 15 kids max just because of that fact.
mm. Love that. No, it sounds like you've really thought a lot of things out, which is super cool. Is there a place people could learn more about it?
Yeah, they can go to our website, which is autismacres.org, and that's where they would sign up for play days as well to come out and enjoy.
Ah, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for your service for 20 years. That's admirable. And then on top of that,
Appreciate
you're
it.
doing this next thing. But no, good luck with your kids and your your foster child as well. I hope that works out. And yeah, I'll be in touch because next time we're up in Washington, I'm going to give you a call.
Sounds good. Appreciate you doing this, Mark. This is reaching a lot of people that need to hear about some struggles, some good things, and just being a dad.
Yeah, and that's really what it's about. And it's doesn't have to be more complicated than that. It's like, hey, we just chat about something with somebody who knows what the heck you're talking about. Well, really appreciate it, Alan, and I'll be in touch.
All right. Take care, Mark.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Dads in Autismland podcast. For more content like this, and if you are a dad that would like to come on the show, we're always interested in having you. Please check out our website, dadsinautismland.com.